Have you ever closed the door on a nightmare, only to find it creeping into your waking hours? Picture this. You're snuggled under your blankets. The shadows are dancing on your ceiling. And that's when it hits you. You feel the icy fingers of fear tracing down your spine, and a voice, a whisper, echoes in your ear, daring you to open your eyes. What do you dare to peek? Do you confront the darkness head-on? Or do you bury your head deeper in the blankets, hoping the nightmare will pass you by? Welcome to our channel, where today we're going to read your submissions. Remember, you guys can send in your stories via the provided email. Also, you can check out our page for more amazing stories like these. But without further ado, let's dive right into the terrifying tales you've sent in. The walls were closing in on my sanity. My reflection stared back with vacant eyes, making me wonder if I was inside or out. I tried to scream, but my voice echoed strangely, swallowed by the oppressive atmosphere. I felt like I was drowning in molasses, stuck between worlds. Then I saw him. His presence loomed like a storm cloud on the horizon, drawing closer. The monster from my nightmares, Vecna, was hunting me. I stumbled backward, tripping over gnarled roots that seemed to reach out like grasping claws. Behind me, the forest pressed against me, suffocating me with its dense, fetid embrace. Before me, the Upside Down beckoned, promising oblivion. The only escape was through. There was no turning back. Just as Vecna's distorted laughter split the silence, I made my choice. With a final glance at the unforgiving woods behind me, I stepped into the void. For a fleeting moment, the air shimmered around me, blurring the boundary between worlds. I heard a deafening roar as the veil thinned, and then everything went black. When I awoke, I was bathed in the ethereal glow of twilight. Disoriented, I sat up, my heart pounding a frantic tattoo against my ribs. Where was I? The familiar trees of the Upside Down surrounded me, their gnarled branches clawing at the blood-red sky. Panic welled up. I was trapped in the Upside Down, lost in a labyrinth of shadows and secrets. My mind raced, desperate for a way out. Then I remembered, how she had helped me before. Maybe, just maybe, she could save me again. Hope flickered, fragile, but persistent. I closed my eyes, reaching out with my mind, sending a silent plea into the ether. Please, Elle, help me. I'm scared. My voice may have been a whisper, but my spirit was a shout. God, I refused to give in to the encroaching darkness. I would find a way back, for myself, for everyone I loved. As the first tendrils of night crept into the Upside Down, I began my fight to return home. Suddenly, a twig snapped nearby, pulling me from my thoughts. Adrenaline surged through me as I scanned the darkening woods. A low growl echoed through the trees, sending shivers down my spine. Something was out there, something sinister, watching, waiting. My breath caught in my throat. Was it here for me? As the darkness deepened, so did the danger. The forest floor became a treacherous maze of roots and shadows. I stumbled on, driven by primal fear, the growl echoing ominously behind me. Every rustle of leaves, every hoot of an unseen owl sent fresh jolts of terror through me. But I couldn't stop. Not now. Not when I was so close. Then I saw it. A faint glimmer of light through the trees, a beacon in the encroaching gloom. Hope surged anew. Could this be my way out? With renewed determination, I pushed on, the growl fading into the distance. As I reached the light, my heart leaped. It was a portal, shimmering like a mirage in the darkness. This was my chance. With one last glance back at the menacing woods, I stepped into the portal. The familiar rush of air, the sudden shift in light, and I was back. Back in my room, safe and sound, or so I thought. For as I turned to leave, I saw a dark shadow lurking in the corner, watching me with malevolent eyes. It was him. Vecna was here in my room. He had found me. The nightmare was not over. It had just begun. I froze, trapped between the safety of my room and the lurking horror in the shadows. My mind reeled, trying to grasp a solution. But all I could think of was running, so I did. I fled, racing down the corridor of my apartment complex, the monster's laughter echoing behind me. I ran blindly, desperately seeking refuge. The echo of his laughter seemed to mock me, growing louder, more menacing. My breath ragged, my heart threatening to burst, I stumbled into my apartment, slamming the door behind me. I was safe, or so I thought. Then I heard it, scratching, clawing at my door. My blood ran cold. He was outside my door. Whatever stood between me and the creature suddenly seemed flimsy, pathetic. My sanctuary was an illusion. I could hear him now, his heavy breathing, his guttural growls. They vibrated through my very being, shaking me to my core. And then, oh God, then he began to speak. His voice, a chilling rasp, slithered through the wood, slithering around me like a constrictor. "Come with me," he hissed, his words dripping with a malevolence that sent shivers down my spine. "We have unfinished business," my mind screamed, but I couldn't respond. I was paralyzed with terror. The door shuddered violently, as if ready to burst from its hinges. And in that moment, I knew I couldn't stay, had to fight to get out. Gathering a strength I didn't know I possessed, I threw myself against the door, my shoulder meeting solid wood. But it didn't matter. Vecna was too powerful, too determined. I could hear his triumphant laughter as he effortlessly tore through the flimsy barrier. My apartment, my sanctuary was breached. And as the door swung inward, I saw the embodiment of my worst fears standing before me, his eyes blazing with triumph. My nightmare had become my reality. Just as Vecna loomed over me, ready to claim his prize, a new sound cut through the tension. Voice strong and clear rang out, shattering the silence. "Get away from her, you monster." I turned, my gaze locked onto the newcomer, and my heart soared. Standing defiantly in the doorway was Elle. Her eyes flashed with power, her fists clenched tight. The sight of her filled me with gratitude and hope. In that instant, I knew I wasn't alone. We had each other. Vecna snarled, his eyes flickering between Elle and me, his expression a mix of fury and surprise. He hadn't expected backup. But now he had two targets, two sources of power he needed to neutralize. And so the battle began. Elle unleashed a torrent of psychic energy, sending objects flying, slamming Vecna back. But he was relentless, his power surging forward like a tidal wave. Just as he reached out to crush Elle, I lunged. I tackled him, surprising him with my ferocity. We grappled, our hands clenched tight, our bodies straining with the effort. The air crackled with energy as Elle's powers flared, buying us precious moments. Together, we fought, fueled by adrenaline and sheer determination. But it was becoming clear we needed a distraction, a way to separate Vecna's mind from his body. And then I remembered the song, the one I used to calm myself when I was little, the one 11 taught me. I started singing softly at first, but then I poured every ounce of emotion into the melody, my voice ringing with newfound strength. The song was ancient, powerful, and as it echoed through the room, Vecna faltered. His grip on me loosened momentarily, giving Elle the opening she needed. She sent a bolt of energy arcing toward him, striking him squarely. And in that instant, his form wavered, the connection between the upside down and this realm weakening. Seeing my opportunity, I channeled every bit of strength I had left and landed a solid kick on his knee, sending him sprawling. He roared in pain and anger, but I didn't hesitate. I scrambled back, away from his flailing limbs, away from his snapping jaws. I didn't know how long we fought, how many times he rose, and how many times we brought him down. But finally, with a last Herculean effort, Elle and I managed to sever his connection to the Upside Down completely. His form flickered, becoming translucent, and with a final shudder, he collapsed, his essence dissipating into the ether. We had won. But the victory felt hollow. The battle had taken its toll, and as the adrenaline ebbed, exhaustion crashed over me. My knees buckled, and I slumped to the floor, my gaze meeting Elle's. In her eyes, I saw not only relief, but a deep sadness. The battle was over, but the war was far from won. The Upside Down wasn't defeated, not completely. And as I looked into Elle's eyes, I knew there would come a day when we'd have to face the darkness again. But for now, we had survived. And as the first rays of dawn peeked through the windows, we clung to that. To the knowledge that we had faced our fears and lived to tell the tale. And that concludes our terrifying journey through tales you've sent in. Which story resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. And remember, if you've got a chilling tale of your own, you can send it to us through the provided email. Who knows? Our story might be featured in our next video.